Hey Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here. Just dropped the car off at the mechanic to get the windscreen wipers done. Did a few sneaky hours before the crack of dawn this morning. So I've got a bit of money for food, which is always nice. So just walking back home, I'll do a stream. So bit of Champions League news happening today. It looks like a couple of disappointingly exciting matches went the wrong way. Both draws for Arsenal and Manchester City. It's a shame away goals don't count. The double in the Arsenal game, and I'm glad they don't count in the Man City game, because as usual I don't want anyone to win apart from Tottenham. There's been a couple of ex-players and ex-staff poking their heads up, gobbling off about Tottenham. You've probably seen a few stories about Eric Dyer, who's saying he's playing the best football of his life, almost knocking on Gareth Southgate's door. Pick me, pick me. He probably will as well. Well, we didn't want to win the Euros anyway, did we? And then spilling the beans a bit on Ange Postecoglou's methods, claiming don't do any tactical work, which is fine by me, as opposed to the days of Conte, where it was all drilled into people. And where did that get us? So there you go. If Eric's to be trusted on this, no tactics equals better football. More art, less science. That's what I'm telling you, folks. And the other interesting one I saw was one of our ex-scouts, Brian King, who worked at Spurs between 2002 and 2008, which makes me think, I don't know what sort of scout he was, I don't know who he signed. Oh, hello, where do I go? Down here? There's a bit of pathworks. So I tried to find out a bit more about him, because he was there in my years as Tottenham Black Hole. Quite funny that, doing a bit of pathworks, and I had to be chaperoned to make sure I didn't fall over. Might have been a quid in it go, mate. Yeah, 2002 to 2008, that was kind of a bit of a Spurs black hole. Well, I couldn't really watch much Tottenham over here, so I don't know the cut of the guy's jib. I did a bit of search on him this morning, and what I could see was that every time Spurs breathe, he's got a comment about it, and his comment was about the weekend's game, saying he was amazed that Ange Postecoglou picked a midfield with both Sarr and Basuma in it, because according to King, they don't work well together. And I'm thinking, Brian, did you see the first 10 games of the year, son? Did you see that? When we had the best midfield in the country? Yeah, okay. It wasn't quite ticking along against Nottingham Forest, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I don't think. It wasn't terrible. If it was bad, we would have gone into the break with a deficit, but we didn't. So I don't know. It seems to be the thing at the moment to talk about where you used to be. I don't know why Eric and Brian are so interested in Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. Maybe they regret leaving or being sacked or whatever, I don't know, because things are looking a lot better without either of them. Maybe that's harsh in Brian King's name. Let me know in the comments below, actually. Brian King, was he good or was he arse? Because I don't know. But either way, his comment about Ndombele, Papamatasaurus and Basuma not working well together, that just leaves me scratching my head a bit. I think they're quite a good balance for each other. Basuma is playing quite defensively well at the moment. At the beginning he was doing more of those dribbles. Be nice to see some of those come back. a very strong player. When he's in possession of the ball, it's hard to get it off him. And then Sarr, on the other hand, is more of a 1-2 touch pass at his best. 1-2 touch pass kind of guy. Ball comes in, traps it, ball comes off at a different angle straight to another player. Quickly split. As Bill Nicholson used to say to Steve Perryman, I think it's keep it fast, easy and accurate, and you'll have a career at Tottenham. And that's what I've seen Sarr doing so far. So, Champions League a bit disappointing, but I suppose the silver lining for the top four freaks, or the Champions League freaks out there, which I'm not really one myself, is that I suppose if Arsenal and Man City get through, it shores up 5th place in the Champions League. I mean, I'll take it, but you know, part of my heart will wither a little bit, I think. Well, maybe it won't, because I just think the idea of the top 25% of the Premier League having a shot at being European champions is a little bit daft, isn't it? It's a little bit daft. It used to be just one team at the top. That's what made it so special and so prestigious. And now it's this year it could be 5 teams. 5 teams from England. I mean, altruistic me, I mean, especially if we finish 4th, then I'll definitely be saying this. If I say 5th, I might do a U-turn and be a complete flip-flop hypocrite, but that's all right. If there's that many places going in Europe, I'd prefer to see the champions of the smaller football nations in Europe get a guaranteed berth through to the through the competition, instead of having to do all the qualifiers and stuff like that. Because you know, you never know. I mean, especially when Europe competitions were straight knockout, 2 legs, 2 or die, there was always the scope for weird old little results coming up. Every dog has his day, particularly in the sorry, my arm's getting tired. Particularly in the Cup Winners' Cup. They used to throw up some great matches, and not just because we won it in 1963, because that was the winners of the domestic cups in each country. And sometimes you got upsets in those competitions, and then wouldn't you know it, they get a ticket to Europe. And I think, you know, UEFA's tried patching that up. They got rid of the Cup Winners' Cup, I think, in 1999 because of the increased qualifications to Champions League. It had to go to the Cup Winners' Cup. Was being filled by sometimes the finalists, not the winners, because they'd already qualified, semi-finalists. And so they got rid of it because they thought it was a lower standard competition. And then what do the money-grabbing little sods do? All past the buses. They think, maybe we need a bit more money after all. We'll have the Europa Conference. So you've got all the, you know, 7th, 8th place teams, you know, and really that's a bang average season, isn't it? Well, it depends on your club, I suppose, but you know, we finished 8th last year and that was bang average. I suppose if you're someone like, you know, Brentford or something like that, you'd be happy with it. But if I was a UEFA bigwig, I'd kick the Europa Conference in a touch. Why is that guy looking at me? Get out of my way. And bring back the Cup Winners' Cup. Because it used to be the second most prestigious competition in Europe. The Super Cup was determined between the winners of the European Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. And it makes the domestic cups something a bit more glitzy again. And I'm all for a bit of glitz in things like the FA Cup. Anyway, folks, I'm going to head home in a second. I think I'll have a cup of tea and do a bit of a stream at a totally unsociable hour for both Australia and the UK. Until next time, folks, peace and love, man. Come on, you Spurs.